Hi, my name is Brooklyn Pendleton, and today we are going to be learning about crayons, colors, and Claude Monet. By the end of this lesson, I want you to be able to tell me who Claude Monet is as an artist. I'll give you a hint. He's one of my very, very favorites. And you're going to tell me how colors impact the mood of a painting that the artist has created, and you're going to be able to use color to change the mood of your paintings as well. All right, as we are going through this presentation, I want to remind you that if you want to pause, you are more than welcome to do so. I'm going to be showing you a lot of artwork from Claude Monet, and so you might want to be able to pause it and take a closer look, so feel free to do that. The first thing that we're going to be talking about is color. So as you can see, we have a picture of our color wheel right here. So we have our warm colors, red, orange, and yellow, and then our cool colors, green, blue, and purple. There are a few other words that I wanted to share with you today. There's a hue, which is any color that has been changed, so made either lighter or darker. There's also a tint, which is any color that has had white added to it. So for example, if you take red and add white to it, then you get pink, which is a tint of red. And then shade is similar. It's any color that has had black added to it. So if you were to mix black and blue, then you would get a much darker blue, maybe like a navy or like a midnight blue. And then value just compares how light or dark a specific color is. So this is my very, very favorite painter. His name is Claude Monet, and this is a self-portrait that he painted during his lifetime. He was from France, and he was born in 1840 and died in 1926, and he was part of the Impressionist movement. So this was a time period in art history where painters focused a lot on color and were less worried about creating a very, very realistic image, and were worried more about looking at, like I said, at the color, at the shape. So a lot of his paintings almost look a little bit blurry, or they look like he used a lot of splotches of paint to create these colors. He really enjoyed creating scenes from, the things that were around him, his garden, the buildings that he lived in, other buildings, different landscapes, anything that was outdoors, our friend Claude Monet would be painting it. And he really, really loved using color and light in his paintings, and he worked mostly with oil paint. So this first painting is called The Garden at Argenteuil, or the dahlias. I can't really speak French, but dahlias are a type of flower. And as I'm going through this picture and the rest of them, I want you to pay attention to how these paintings make you feel. What kind of a mood does it put you in? For example, in this painting, I just feel so cozy. Like, I want to live in this painting. I want to live in that cute little house and have all those flowers around me and be able to walk with my friends and family and enjoy the outdoors. And Monet creates a lot of paintings that have a very similar effect. You kind of want to live in them. This next one is the water lily pond, or Japanese bridge, and you'll see a lot of paintings by Monet that are of a similar scene. So he had this beautiful pond in his garden. He had a famous garden, like it was beautiful, and a lot of his paintings come from his garden. But he also had a pond with this Japanese bridge going across it, and he in this one, as you can see, he painted it in a lot of greens, and there's a lot of, there's trees in the background, and you can see the green kind of reflected in the water. And this is a very famous scene that Monet painted fairly often. This is a personal favorite of mine. I think the colors in this are just so beautiful. I love how he has created this sunset and how it's reflected in the water and how the Parliament building is kind of in shadow. I also like it because it really shows that his paintings weren't very detailed. They were more like lots of brush strokes coming together with his paintbrush to create a bigger picture. And that was something that Monet was really famous for, and that's another part, like I said, that Impressionist movement, that time period where artists were focusing on color instead of making things very realistic. And I actually got to see this painting in person when I went to a museum in Switzerland, and so it's one of my favorites. Like I said, he had a pond in his backyard where he had all these water lilies, and so he did a lot of paintings with those water lilies. He's very, very famous for his paintings, including water lilies. So this is just an example. This one's called Green Harmony. Another thing that Claude Monet really liked to do was paint the same scene, but in different weather or at different times of day. So he painted a few different scenes using these grain stacks. This one happens to be at sunset with a bunch of snow on the ground. And so, as you can see, he uses a lot of blues and yellows to kind of create snow. And I think that's so cool because when you think of snow, you think, oh, it's white. But he used blue and yellow to show the different shadows, to show how the sun reflected on it. And that was something that Claude Monet was really, really good at. And this is just another one that I really like because I feel like I could also live here. Maybe have like a picnic out there and go for a walk with my family. I kind of wish I could live in that painting. So for the next few paintings, I'm going to go through them a little more quickly. But the next few are all paintings of the same building, but they've been painted at different times of day, in different types of weather. And so I want you to pay attention to how each painting is different, even though it's of the same building. And the way that Claude Monet uses color plays a big role in that. So let's keep looking. This one is, so this is the Rouen Cathedral, and this was painted to look like it was sunset. And you can see there's lots of pinks and purples, maybe some yellows and oranges. So kind of keep that in mind. Like I said, if you need to pause to take a closer look, feel free to do that. This is in foggy weather, and it's much more blurry. There's all these blues and grays. There's not nearly as many colors as in that first painting. This one was also painted to look like it was sunset, but this one's different too than our first sunset painting, which I think is so interesting, how he was able to use all these different colors, even at the same time of day, to paint a picture. And this is called Blue Harmony Morning Sunlight. So this was one that he did of the morning, and as you can see, it's a lot more, lot cooler. There's all of those blues, different shades and tints of blue. There's maybe a little bit of pink, but not quite as much as in that first one. And like I said, this was something that Claude Monet was really, really, really good at, was using color to do different things with his paintings. Well, now that we know who Claude Monet is and have seen a little bit of how he used color in his artwork, we are going to be doing an activity ourselves. So for this activity, you are going to need a picture of your house, your trusty sketchbook, and some crayons. If you're feeling really ambitious, we can also use our watercolor paints, but I'll get to that in just a second. So for this activity, we're going to be drawing a picture of our house at 2 different times. So that could be different times of day. Maybe you want to draw your picture of your house at night, or maybe you want a picture of your house in the afternoon, or you can also do different times of year. Maybe your house looks so different when there's snow on the ground, and so you want to draw that. Just as long as there are 2 different times of year, times of day, then we are in business. So I'm going to show you what I did in just a second. All right, let me get this opened up. Gotta find the right page. I've got so much art in this sketchbook. It's kind of hard to find what I'm looking for sometimes. So give me just 1 second. And in the meantime, make sure that you're getting out your picture of your house so that you're able to follow along. So the first crayon drawing that I did was my house at Christmas. So you can see that the sky is kind of darker. My windows are lit up all yellow because there's light coming from inside. I drew a little Christmas tree and a wreath on the front door in order to show that it was a different time of year. My other drawing is my house in the fall. And this fall, I feel like we got a lot of rain, and so the sky wasn't very blue. It could be a little bit gray and cloudy, and so I wanted to show that. You can see the sky is more gray. And I've got a little pumpkin and something hanging on the door as well. So this was supposed to be during the day in the fall. So what you're going to do is the same thing. You're going to be drawing 2 different pictures of your house, and you're going to do it at 2 different times of year, and you can show that using different colors. You can show that using different decorations. However you want to show that you're painting, or that you're drawing, 2 different times of year, then you're gonna do just great. If you happen to finish early or you're feeling like trying something different, you can also paint your sky with watercolors. I think watercolors are a great way to show differences in light and times of year and times of day. So if you're feeling a little extra ambitious, if you're feeling like you want to do something different, then I'll have you do that. So in the next slide, I'm going to show some the examples of my artwork again so you can get a better look at it. And then I'm also going to put the instructions up. And like I said, if you need to pause the video at any time or go back and watch it again, then feel free to do so. And I'm excited to see your artwork.